N by N matrix of the form In plus A into Ij, A not equal to 0, and the position where you have introduced that scalar is the non-diagonal position. So I is not equal to 0. And these I and j can be any of the two numbers between 1 and n. And what is type 2? Type 2 is again an elementary matrix of order n. There is In. You remove the ith entry 1, jth entry, so it is equivalent to subtracting these two matrices, adding the two new matrices Eij. Here also, I is not equal to j. I and j can be any of the two numbers between 1 and n. So you can come up with many such type 2 elementary form. Type 3 is again n by n matrix. Okay. Uh, Still the same problem, is it? Shatina, still you can't hear me?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. It's not
Is
clear.
it? Okay, okay. Let me try. Now is this better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the third type, that is type 3 elementary matrices, um, En n by n, where you have to add a non-zero scalar in one of the diagonal positions after removing that integer 1. So you can write it as In plus C minus 1 into Eii. C is a non-zero scalar, and this ith position can be any of the diagonal positions. So there are n possibilities, and C scalar could be anything. You have infinitely many choices. So these are three types of elementary matrices. Next, we will look at what are called elementary row operations. Elementary row operations. Once we look at the elementary row operations, then what we'll do is we'll try to connect the concept of elementary matrices with that of elementary row operations. Okay, there are three types of elementary matrices, and now there are three types of elementary row operations. The row operations, elementary row operation of type 1, or the first type 1 is, row operation is, you take any matrix of any order, you are performing some operations in terms of rows. Okay, you're applying some operations on rows. So type 1 is, you multiply any one of the row of the given matrix by some non-zero scalar and add it to another row. You might have come across these row operations when you have learned numerical analysis in your undergraduates. Okay, when you had to solve system of equations. So here what we are going to do is, in type 1, add a scalar multiple, of one row, any one of the row you can choose, add a scalar multiple of a row to another row. Suppose I am denoting the rows of the matrix as, say, I take a matrix of order m by n. Let me take A, which is of order m by n. Then how many rows A has? It has exactly m rows, right? I am denoting the rows as, say, R1, R2, etc., Rm. The entire row is denoted by R1. It has n entries. Remember, the first row has n entries, second row has n entries, and so on. I'm denoting the rows, the entire row, by R1, R2, etc., Rm. In first type of elementary row operation, what are we doing? We will multiply one of these row, one of these Rj, by a scalar, say some A, and you add it to some ith row. So it is like some scalar. If A is a scalar, A times row j, multiply one of the rows, say jth row, by A, and add it to another row, that is row I. Okay, so it is like Ri plus ARJ. You're multiplying some row by A and adding it to the ith row. Okay, this is the idea for type 1 elementary row operation. What is elementary row operation of type 2? Type 2 elementary row operation is just interchanging of two rows. Okay, interchanging two rows of a matrix. So at a time, you interchange only two of them. But once again, if you want to apply the type 2 row operation itself, once again, you can go for interchanging. Okay, individually, you can apply many row operations on the same matrix. In type 2 elementary row operation, you choose any two rows, say the first row and the third row, then interchange them. So that after applying this operation, third row appears in the first row position and first row comes to the third row position. So as before, if A is a m by n matrix with its rows named as R1, R2, etc., Rm, then interchange Ri with Rj. So what happens after the interchanging? After interchanging the two rows, if this was a matrix initially A, R1 was the first row, R2 is the second row, etc. The last row is Rm, right? This is how the matrix was. After applying type 2 elementary row operation, what happens? In the ith row, you can see Rj. The entries of the jth row will appear in the ith row position, and all the entries of the ith row will appear in the jth row position. Okay, order will not change. If A was m by n, the resulting matrix is also m by n, but I cannot call this as A now, remember. Now this is not A, okay, the matrix has been changed, so I cannot call it as the same matrix. Unless all the rows are equal, or unless the ith and the jth rows are equal, after interchanging two rows, I may not get back the same matrix. Okay, so this is type 2. And then type 3. Type 3 is, you'll come to know why I have called them as type 1, type 2, type 3, because we are going to relate them with elementary matrices of type 1, type 2, type 3 respectively. Third type of elementary row operation is, you choose one row and multiply that entire row with some non-zero scalar. Multiplying a row with a non-zero scalar. This is the third type elementary row operation. So if A is a matrix with m rows, R1, R2, etc., Rn, let me choose some ith row of A, that is Ri. Then I'm going to multiply this with some, if C is a non-zero scalar, then C into Ri becomes the ith row of the new matrix. How was A initially? A is a matrix with first row being R1, second row being R2, etc. The last row is Rm, right? After applying the type 3 row operation, elementary row operation of type 3, what happens? The ith row will change. Rest all the rows are same. In the ith row, you will get CRI. That becomes the new row. So if I had taken the scalar, say 2, and initially if the row Ri had the entries 1, 2, 3, after multiplying that row with the scalar 2, the new row will have the entries 2, 4, 6. That exact, the entire row is getting multiplied with that one single scalar. That is type 3. So quickly recall, type 1 is type 1 elementary row operation. Earlier we had elementary matrices of 3 types. Okay. The first type is where non-zero scalar added in the ijth position. Second type is where in the ith and the diagonal, ith and the jth diagonal position you add zeros, and in ijth and jith positions introduce 1. In the third type, one of the diagonal entry is replaced by a non-zero scalar C. Okay, that is type 3. Now the row operations, first type of elementary row operation is, you multiply one row of a matrix by some scalar and add it to another row. That is type 1. I'm not going to explain each of these row operations with example. It is pretty easy to check on your own. You have to choose one row of your choice, multiply with some number, add it to another row. Okay, that is row operation of type 1. Type 2 is you just simply interchange two rows of your choice. That is type 2 row operation. Type 3 row operation is you choose one row and multiply that entire row with the non-zero scalar. Now we'll try relating row operations, elementary row operations with elementary matrices. Okay, with elementary matrices. Let me take E to be elementary matrix of type 1 of order n. That is, it's an n by n elementary matrix, n rows and n columns. Okay. So let A be of this form. You know what is the general form of E? E is of the form in plus A into Eij. A is non-zero, A is non-zero, and I is not equal to J. Some position Ij. And let me consider another matrix, some arbitrary matrix A. Let A be an n by P matrix. What am I taking here? I'm taking a matrix where the number of rows in that matrix is same as the order of the matrix E. Okay, order I have taken n here. Then I will choose A with the order n because I will be multiplying A on the left side by E. Okay. Next, I'm going to multiply E with A. Okay, so E is multiplied on the left of A. And you know what is the condition for matrix multiplication? Number of columns in E should be equal to number of rows in A. And what is the number of columns in E? It is a square matrix. So number of rows and number of columns is n. So I should see that A has n rows. And this number P could be anything. So n has to be the order of E. So choose A to be an n by P matrix with rows. Let me denote the rows as R1, R2, etc. Rn. How many rows? N rows. So first row is R1, second row is R2, etc. The last row is Rn, N rows. Now we will consider E into A. Okay, we'll consider E into A. Let me draw E. E is the square, remember. A need not be square matrix. This is n by n. This is n by p, right? A has the rows. R1 is the first row. R2 is the second row. The ith row somewhere is Ri. You should put dots here. It is not the immediate next row. R2, then some dots and then Ri. And the last row is Rn. There are exactly n rows. How many entries each row has? Anybody? Each row, how many entries each row has?
P.
Yes. Sophia gave the answer, is it? I couldn't hear.
It's P.
Yes, yes. So the number of entries in a row is same as the number of columns, right? If I take a matrix A with say 2 rows, I'll take the first row. How many entries it has? 3 entries. Second row. How many entries it has? 3 entries. So the number of entries in each row is same as the total number of columns. I'm going to call the first row as R1, the entire row. Second row is R2. That's what I'm doing in this general case. Okay, the entire row is called as R1, entire row is called as R2, and the number of entries in each row is same as the number of columns. Keep that in mind, number of columns. Now, even if we don't know what are exactly the entries in these two matrices, we don't know what are the entries in E and A, but we'll try multiplying them. What we know is in E, in the matrix E, here In plus A into Eij, all the diagonals are ones, and in the ijth position, there is A. I jth position, there is A. I have to make some correction in the matrix because I have to just mention the jth row also, just to get the exact picture. So there is Ri, then I should also write down Rj, then I'll write down Rn. I'm increasing the size of the matrix a bit. Rj also has to be taken care of. Now the matrix E may not look like a square. Sorry for that. E should be a square matrix, remember. This is bad. Yes. So everything in the diagonal is 1, and in ijth position there is A. So J I. This is n by n matrix. This is n by p matrix. Now I have to multiply E with the matrix A. Okay. We will be multiplying E and A. So somewhere let me write Ri and Rj. So I'm considering the case where I is less than j here. It could happen that j is less than I also. Okay. Here I and j, we know they are not equal. It could happen I is less than j or j is less than I. Two possibilities. We'll just discuss one of them. Keep in mind all the diagonals in E are integer 1. Everything is 0 except at ijth position there is A. Now consider the first row. Okay. I have to find out what is EA now. Remember, I have to find out what is E into A. Okay. E into A. What will be the first row? How do you get the ijth entry of the matrix, product matrix? How to get the ijth entry of the product matrix? If you can recall the definition of multiplication which we have given, you have to multiply the ith row of the first matrix with the jth column of the second matrix. Right? If I have to get the 1 entry of the product matrix, say AB, I have to multiply the first row of A with the first column of B. If I have to get the 2/3 entry, I have to multiply the second row of the first matrix with the third column of the second matrix. That's how the multiplication is. Now let us find out what is the first row. So I will be multiplying the first row of E. This is the first row of E. You have to multiply the first row of E with the first column of A in order to get 1/1 entry. If I multiply the first row with the second column, I would get 1/2 entry. First row with the third column, I would get 1/3 entry. So in order to get the entire first row of the product E into A, I have to multiply the first row with each of the column of the second matrix. I hope this is clear. To get the first row of the product matrix, I have to multiply the first row of the first matrix with each of the column. First row with the first column gives you first entry. First row with the second column gives you the second entry of first row. First row with the third column gives you the third entry of the first row, and so on. So since I'm right now finding out only the first row of the product, I have to multiply only the first row with each of the column. So first row multiplied with the first column. What am I going to get? I want the answer. When this first row is multiplied with the first column, what is that entry I get? What happens if first row is multiplied with the first column? It's easy because the first row of E is quite simple and nice. Only the first entry is 1, rest everything is 0. So what will happen? First column is here in A. I have to multiply this row with the first column. So 1 gets multiplied with the first entry, 0 gets multiplied with the second row entry, 0 again with the third entry of the first column. So what is happening? Except the first entry of the first column, rest everything is getting multiplied with 0, right? So what am I going to get here in 1/1 position? What entry will appear here? In terms of A, can you tell me what entry will come here? Let me ask Shreya. Shreya. Yeah, when this row
Yes, ma'am.
is multiplied with the first column,
Mm.
which entry
Uh,
will appear?
1 into P,
1 into
P,
what is B?
P, P.
P is the order of the matrix, right?
Okay.
Here in the first column, suppose let me take the first column entries as say alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, etc. Alpha n.
Then alpha 1.
Then 1
Alpha
into
1.
alpha
Alpha
1.
1.
This
Yeah.
gets multiplied with 0, right? So I will
0.
get the alpha 1.
0.
Right?
Alpha 1 and 0, 0, 0.
So when after adding 1 into alpha 2, etc., what will be the resulting number?
Alpha 1
So alpha 1 will come in the 1/1
first,
position.
1, 1 position.
Similarly now, if I multiply the first row, the same row 1 0 0 with the second
Mm.
column has beta 1, beta 2, etc., beta n. What am I going to get?
0.
No, the first row multiplied with
Ah,
the column. There are beta 1, beta 2, beta n.
yes, ma'am. That 1 to the position
Gets
will be
multiplied
0.
with uh, no, the same first row. First row is 1 0 0, right? In A,
Ah,
in E,
then
sorry. The same row multiplied with another column, beta 1, beta 2, beta n. 1 gets multiplied with beta 1,
alpha.
no, betas,
Yeah,
no.
1.
Beta 1, 0 gets
Then
multiplied with beta 2,
beta 2.
etc. plus 0 into beta n. So I would get beta 1,
0.
I will get beta 1 as the entry.
Yes, ma'am. No, no, no. That is 0. Was
How did I get
beta
0?
1.
See
First one
here,
is beta 1.
I have to multiply first row with the second
Mm.
column. I am
Mm.
saying that the second column has beta 1, beta 2, etc. beta n. How do you
Mm.
multiply the first row with that column? 1 into beta
1
1
into beta 1, then 0 into beta 2.
plus, have to add, keep that in mind, plus
Uh,
0 into beta 2 plus 0 into beta 3, etc. plus 0 into beta n. So finally,
mm.
what is the entry that will appear in the 1
1
2th
beta
position?
1.
1 2th position, beta 1.
Mm.
Correct? 1 2th
Yes,
position,
ma'am.
beta 1. So in general, what is happening when this first is multiplied with each of the column of the second matrix?
Mm.
Every time I'll get the entry from the first row itself.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you can mute now. So that's
Yes.
all I want. Because this row has only integer 1 in the first place and rest everything is 0, when you multiply the same row with each of the column, what I get is the entries from the first row of A itself. Whatever entry is there in R1, the same entries will appear in the product also. Because the entries from the other rows will be getting multiplied with zeros. 1 into the first entry, plus 0 into the second entry, plus 0 into the third entry, and so on, column wise. So every time this 1 gets multiplied with the entry from the first 1/1 position here, 1 gets multiplied with the entry from 1/2 position, 1 gets multiplied with entry from 1/3 position. So what I get back is what I get is R1 itself. Okay, try to analyze this once again. If this general picture is not working out, then you try with some example where you take the first matrix having the first row with 1 0 0, etc., then multiply with the second row. In the resulting product, what you get is the first row of the second matrix itself. Now come to the second row of EA. How do I get the second row of the product? To get the second row of the product, I have to multiply. Okay, to get the second row of the product, I have to multiply the second row of E with each of the column. If I multiply the second row of E with each of the columns, I would be getting the entire second row of E into A. Let me write down what is there in the second row of E. If I is not equal to 2, this ith row has A there. Otherwise, rest all the rows are same as that of identity. Remember that. So if the second row is here, it has 0 in the first place, then 1 comes in the diagonal. Rest everything is zeros. Now if I multiply this row with the first column, what will happen? 0 into the first entry of the first column. If this is the first column, 0 gets multiplied with the first entry, 1 gets multiplied with the second entry, 0 with the third entry, and you have to add them, right? 0 into this entry plus 1 into this entry plus 0 into next entry and so on. So what I get is this entry here in the second row's first position here. Next, the same row, the second row has to be multiplied with the second column. When you multiply second row with the second column, what happens? 0 into the first entry, whatever that entry is, but after multiplying with 0, it becomes 0. Plus 1 into the entry in the second position, that will remain because it is getting multiplied with 1. Plus 0 into the other entry, plus 0 into the next entries, etc. plus 0 into other entries. So what I get next? I get next is again this entry which will appear here. That's because it's getting multiplied with 1. Rest everything will get multiplied with 0 since the second row has only 1 present in this position here. So can somebody tell me what is going to be the second row of E into A? It's the similar idea as we had for first one. What is the second row of the product?
R2.
R2 itself. You will get the same row of A. That is R2. So the same happens with each of the other rows except for the ith row. Okay, ith row is slightly different. Rest everything will have 1 present in the diagonal position and rest everything is 0. So you will get back the same rows in the product also. Okay. R2 will appear here. This is R2. What is going to be the ith row? Just look at ith row. Ith row has 1 present in its ith position. It has 1 in the ith position and A present in ijth position. Rest everything is 0. Keep that in mind. Rest everything is 0. So if I have to get the ith row of the product matrix, I have to multiply the ith row of the first matrix with each of the column of the second matrix. Okay, I have to multiply the ith row of the first matrix with each of the column of the second matrix. Okay, so what is going to happen? If I multiply the ith row of the first with the first column, 0 into, let me use the highlighter. Yeah, 0 into the first entry plus 0 into the second entry, etc. This 1, you check this 1, this is in the ith place. So this 1 gets multiplied with the entry in the ith row, the first entry in the ith row. Okay, plus 0 into the other entry plus 0 into the next entry, plus there is A in the jth place and that A gets multiplied the entry which is present in the jth row. And rest everything gets multiplied with 0. So what happens? When ith row is multiplied with the first column, 1 gets multiplied with the entry in the Ri and A gets multiplied with entry in Rj. Similarly, when the same row, ith row is multiplied with the second column, what will happen? Zeros getting multiplied with other entries. 1 gets multiplied with entry from the Ri row I, and A gets multiplied with entry in the Rj position. So every time you will have an entry from Ri plus A times the entry from Rj. Therefore, the ith row of this product matrix E into A is going to be Ri plus A times Rj. So there is a change happening in the ith row. The new ith row of the product EA is Ri, the entries of Ri plus A into entries of Rj, whatever A is given here. And rest of the rows, if you check, since they have all zeros and only one in the diagonal place, you will get back the same rows. Okay, let me write that matrix neatly in the next slide. Oh, I am out of slide. Just a second. So what is going to happen? All other rows in the product will be same, except that in the ith row, you will have Ri plus A times Rj. Just a second. Yes. So E into A, E was looking like that, all ones, and A in some ijth place, and there was A with its rows being R1 and somewhere Ri, Rj, etc. Rn. These were the rows. The resulting product is going to be of order n by p, remember, because the first one is n by n, next one is n by p, the resulting matrix is n by p. The first row is R1, second row will be R2, third row is R3, etc. Ith row is Ri plus Arj. Jth row will remain the same. You can cross check that. Once you do this work on your own, Rj remains as Rj, and the last row is Rn itself. So what has happened? What has happened here? When you have multiplied the elementary matrix of type 1, elementary matrix of type 1 on the left of any arbitrary matrix having the rows R1, R2, etc., Rn, when elementary matrix of type 1 is multiplied on the left side of any arbitrary matrix having the rows R1, R2, etc., Rn, what does it do? It results in a matrix where the jth row of A is multiplied with A and added to the ith row. So what has happened is you have performed the elementary row operation of type 1, correct? Elementary row operation of type 1. Multiplying some row with the, this is type 2, type 1. Multiplying a row with the non-zero scalar and adding it to another row. So on left multiplication, elementary matrix of type 1 on left multiplication, whatever scalar is present in E, that A, whichever is there here, A, that scalar will be multiplied with the jth row of the matrix A, and that gets added to the ith row. Okay, that's what is going to happen. One example, small example, we can check. Let me take a small case, 2 by 2 case, 1, 1. Let us take 4 here, 0. I'll take a matrix of order 2 by 3. 1, 3, 4, 8, 0, 0. Can somebody quickly tell me what is going to be the second row? What is going to be the second row? Second row. First row, I'll come to that later. Second row. Second row. This is the second row here. To get the second row of the product, I have to multiply the second row with each of the column. When second row is multiplied with each of the column, what I get back is the second row of the matrix A itself. Immediately my second row is here, because I know this row will not make any changes in the row of the matrix A. So the same row comes in here. Just like here, we had R1, R2, etc., Rn appearing in the product. We will get back the same rows. What about the first row? What will happen to the first row? 1 into the first row plus 4 times the second row. So it is like you're multiplying R2, with integer 4 and adding it to the first row. Okay, that's what is going to happen here. If I call this row as R1 and this row as R2, you have to multiply R2 with 4 and add it to the first row. That will give us these entries. Or just use the usual multiplications definitions. You get 1 into 1 plus 4 into 8, 33 you'll get. 1 plus 4 times 8. 1 into 3 plus 4 times 0. That gives you 3. 1 times 4 plus 4 into 0 gives you 4. So what has happened? You have multiplied the second row with 4 and added it to the first row. Okay, this is elementary matrix of type 1. What it does on left multiplication to any of the arbitrary matrix A. I can also quickly have a look at what happens if you take E to B n by n matrix having 1 everywhere, 0 in the ith place, 0 in the jth place, here 1, here also 1, rest everything is same as that of identity. This is ith place, jth place, ith place and jth place. This is type 2. Take A as before. A is the matrix whose rows are R1, etc., Ri, etc., Rj, etc., Rn. Okay, the rows are out of the matrix. So this is how A looks like. What happens if I consider EA now?
46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 55, 56, 57.
What will happen now? So there is 1, zeros in the first row. In the ith row, I'll write down what is ith row. Ith row is in the diagonal position you have 0, and in the jth place there is 1, rest everything is 0. And in the jth row you have 1 here in the ith place and 0 in the diagonal place, and here all the diagonals are 1s. Okay, so what will happen? First row with this matrix, what do I get back? Just like the previous case, I would be getting back the first row R1 itself. When the second row is multiplied with each of the column, you would get the entries from the second row, so you'll get the second row as it is. What will happen to the ith row? When this ith row is multiplied with the column of the matrix, each of the column, when this ith row is multiplied with the first row, what do I get? 0 into the first entry, 0 into the second entry, 0 into this 0 gets multiplied with this entry, okay, from ith row. This entry gets multiplied with this entry. This 1, which is in the jth place, remember, this is in the jth place, that gets multiplied with the entry from Rj. 0 into Ri, 1 into the entry from row J, the first entry from the first column's jth entry. That will appear here in the ith row place. Okay, when the same ith row is multiplied with the second column, everything gets multiplied with 0 except that the entry from Rj gets multiplied with the 1. So can someone tell me what is going to happen to the ith row? The ith row will have the entries exactly similar to that of the jth row of A. So in the ith row place, you will get Rj. Okay, and when you multiply the jth row of E with each of the column of A, with each of the column, there's 1 which is present in the ith place, right? In the jth row, 1 is present in the ith place. In the jth diagonal position, there is 0. So this 1, since it is in the ith place, that gets multiplied with each of the entry from Ri. Okay, it gets multiplied with the entries from Ri. So in the jth row position, in this matrix, in the jth row, what appears is the entries from row I. So you will get the entire Ri appearing in jth row place. So what has happened here? The row I and the ith row and the jth rows of the matrix A are getting interchanged, right? So on left multiplication by type 2 elementary matrix, where the changes in that elementary matrix are in the ith and the jth positions respectively, then what it does on left multiplication, it will interchange. Okay, it will interchange the two rows of the matrix A. That is precisely elementary row operation of type 2. Elementary row operation of type 2. Try using the same technique with elementary matrix of type 3, what it does with any matrix A on left multiplication. Just check that. You should be able to get type 3 elementary row operation. Okay, this is what we expect when you multiply type 3 elementary matrix on the left of any matrix A. Please try that. If you want the concept to be made very clear to you, what you can do is try with some examples. Take some elementary matrix of each of the three types, multiply with any arbitrary matrix of your choice. Check what is happening to the resulting matrix. Okay? Check that.